Bullying is at endemic levels in schools. It has all sorts of consequences amongst those who are bullied, ranging from anxiety disorders, psychological stress, sickness, feelings of low self-esteem and isolation. So many young people are bullied and abused because they are considered by their peers to be different in some way, whether it is lesbian, gay or bisexual or for some other reason. Remember, you are not different, you are unique. We should all be able to celebrate our uniqueness and not hide it away. You should not be made to feel afraid to show who you are, to be what you want to be. I wholeheartedly support Stonewall's campaign to reassure young people that you don't have to wait for things to get better in your life. You can be, you are great now. The UK government is committed to tackling homophobic bullying. As an Assembly member in the National Assembly for Wales, I'm committed to doing whatever I can to tackle it too, and will support any campaign to stamp out bullying. With our help, we can show you that it can get better, it will get better, starting from today.
Hi, my name is Craig Stevenson. I'm Chair of Out Now, the National Assembly's network for LGBT staff. As a network, we work hard to ensure that LGBT staff are supported in the workplace. The Assembly is a great place to work. Equality is high on the agenda and it has inclusive policies to ensure that everyone is respected and supported in their day-to-day work. We know that people perform better if they can be themselves. For young people in school, college or in their workplaces, they might not get the same experience as me. So I wanted to record this message in support of Stonewall Cymru's It Gets Better campaign to send a signal that things can get better now. So if you're experiencing any problems, please speak to someone. Helo, Craig Stevenson dwi. Dwi'n cadeirydd Out Now, sef rhwydwaith staff LGBT y Cynulliad. Mae'r rhwydwaith yn gweithio'n galed i sicrhau bod staff yn cael cefnogaeth yn y gweithle. Mae'r Cynulliad yn lle gwych i weithio. Mae cydraddoldeb yn uchel ar ein hagenda ac mae'n polisiau yn cynhwysol mwyn sicrhau bod pawb yn cael ei parchu a'i cefnogi yn ei gwaith o ddydd i ddydd. Rydym yn gwybod bod pobl yn perfformio'n well pan fyddent yn rhydd i fod yn agored. Efallai bod pobl ifanc yn ei ysgolion, colegau neu yn ei gweithleoedd ddim yn teimlo bod nhw'n cael profiad positif fel fi. Felly dyna'r reswm nes i recordio'r fideo yma ar gyfer ymgyrch Stonewall Cymru, Mae'n Gwella heddiw. Mwyn anfon neges cryf bod pethau yn gallu gwella nawr. Os ydych chi'n cael unrhyw problemau, siaradwch â rhywun.
Hello, my name is Rosemary Butler and I'm the presiding officer of the National Assembly for Wales and also the Assembly member for Newport West. Now in the UK, we are extremely lucky to live in a country where lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people have won a number of social, political and legal rights. LGBT people here have many more rights than in many other places in the world, and I believe we need to celebrate the achievements that we have made. Now, through the dedication of individual activists and organisations such as Stonewall, we have seen the repeal of Section 28 of the Local Government Act 1988, which banned the promotion of homosexuality in schools. And more recently, we have seen the introduction of civil partnerships, the Gender Recognition Act, openly gay people serving in the military, LGBT adoption rights, and the ability to report homophobia and transphobia as a hate crime. Now, whilst these are great steps, we cannot afford to be complacent. We must not ignore homophobia and transphobia. We cannot live in a society where people are afraid to hold their partner's hand as they walk down the road, or where a trans man or woman is routinely harassed. Now, if you experience or witness homophobia or transphobia, please remember that you don't have to struggle alone. There are people and organisations such as Stonewall who can help and support you. You can also report abuse to the police. Now, there's nothing wrong about being who you are, and you don't have to put up with bullying, harassment, or discrimination. We should be proud that we live in a diverse society where people have the right to be themselves. You don't have to wait for things to get better. They can get better today. Enjoy your lives.
I'm Leighton Andrews, the Assembly Member for the Rhondda and the Minister for Education and Skills, and I'm delighted to be here to give my support to Stonewall and to stress that we in the Assembly want to support the creation of a society based on the values of diversity and equality, and we support the right of LGBT people to live fulfilled and happy lives within our society on an equal basis. And we've also taken steps, let me say, as the Department for Education and Skills to ensure that we are doing what we can to challenge homophobia and transphobia issues in schools through the bullying guidance that we've issued. So we're fully behind Stonewall in the work that it is doing.
I'm pleased to be able to support Stonewall's It Gets Better campaign. Homophobia is one of the greatest causes of bullying. If you're bullied, you can feel lonely and things can get desperate. The message from this campaign is don't despair. Help and support is available, and if you talk about it, it will get better. Plaid Cymru wants to see a Wales where everyone can live together, striving for equality and harmony. It can get better. Dwi'n falch I cefnogi ymgyrch Mae Pethau'n Gwella Stonewall. Homophobia yw achos mwyaf bwlian. Os ti'n cael dy fwlian, ti'n gallu teimlo ar dy ben dy hunan. Neges yr ymgyrch hon yw paid y phoeni, mae help a cefnogaeth yna. Os ti'n siarad amdano fe, mae pethau yn gwella. Mae Plaid Cymru eisiau gweld Cymru ble mae pawb yn gallu byw gyda'i gilydd, yn gweithio am cydraddoldeb a hedd. Mae pethau yn gallu gwella.
I'm Ken Skates, Labour Assembly Member for Clwyd South, and I just want to assure you that it does and will get better. Bullying, according to any discriminatory factor, is still appalling, but sexuality now is less of an issue than it has ever been, and it will continue to become less of an issue. But in the meantime, there are people out there who will bully, who will aggravate on the basis of sexuality, on the basis of religion, race, or merely how you look. But let me tell you this, just because people treat you in a way that is demeaning doesn't mean that it needs to impact on you. Take a boxer's stance to life. When people throw punches, physical or verbal, you don't need to fall over. It will get better.
I'm Peter Black, I'm the Welsh Liberal Democrat spokesperson on equalities, as well as representing Swansea, Neath Talbot and Bridgend. Nobody should be bullied at school for what they believe in or for what they are. Bullying, people who bully do so because they are insecure themselves. And if you are suffering from bullying, then you need to go and talk to people about it and get help. And remember that it doesn't reflect what society thinks of you or who you are. Who you are is what you want to be, and you should encapsulate that, and you should celebrate your own sexuality, your own individuality. And remember that despite any miseries you might suffer at school, at the end of the day, when you come out of school, you'll be respected for who you are, and you'll look back on those days and those people as sad people who did not know themselves what they wanted out of life, whereas you do.
Hello, my name is Sandy Mewis. I'm the Commissioner with responsibility for equality at the National Assembly for Wales and the elected Assembly Member for Delyn constituency, which is in North Wales. We are a diverse, open and tolerant country and have developed laws to protect LGBT people. And yet, across the UK, people are still suffering harassment and abuse because of their sexual orientation or gender identity. Homophobia and transphobia are wrong and cannot be tolerated. If you are experiencing bullying, discrimination or abuse because you are lesbian, gay, bisexual or transgender, it is important that you know that there is help available. There are organisations such as Stonewall that can help. I fully support Stonewall's It Gets Better Today campaign because I want to live in a world where we can all be free from fear of bullying, a world which celebrates difference and embraces diversity. Let's work together and make it happen.
If you think you're being bullied, talk about it to somebody. There's always somebody there to listen. Homophobic bullying is not acceptable, and I know from my experience with many friends that it's a period that passes and that you can go on to do great things and to do anything that you want to. But this is a bad time maybe that will go. So talk to somebody about it if you think you're being bullied.
Today might not have been a good day, and tomorrow will certainly be better. But every day from here on will be a brighter day. You do have a future, we all have futures, and I think we need to look forward to the next day when the sun does come up for you and for all those people that feel that today wasn't a good day.
Hello, I'm Simon Thomas. I'm Plaid Cymru's education spokesperson here at the National Assembly. And I just wanted to say that things do get better, no matter how isolated you may feel, no matter how depressed you may feel, or how different you may feel from your peer group, or how bullied you may feel. There are sources of help and advice available. Search them out, use them if you can, and please think all the time that things will get better. Hello, Simon Thomas ydw i yw Llyfarydd Plaid Cymru yma yn y cynulliad a materion addysg. A dwi jyst yma i ddweud bod pethau yn gwella, bod modd goroesi yr hyn ych chi'n teimlo nawr, os ych chi'n teimlo yn isel o gwbl, os ych chi'n teimlo yn wahanol i bobl o'ch chi'n oedran ych chi, ma modd canfod wybodaeth ar y we, ewch ati i gael cyngor, ewch ati i siarad â rhywun, a mae pethau yn gwella yn y pen draw.
I'm Kirsty Williams, and I'm the leader of the Welsh Liberal Democrats. And I just want to say that if things feel really tough at the moment, hang on in there. There isn't anybody that during their teenage years haven't worried and wondered about the person they are and the person they're going to become. Just know this, you have everything within you already to be that amazing, exceptional person. Things will and do get better. It might not feel that way now, but believe me, in years to come, you will be that exceptional person, and these dark days will be a long way behind you. It does get better. Just keep believing.
Hello, my name is Mark Isherwood, Assembly Member for North Wales, and I'm here to add my voice to those of my colleagues to say it really does get better. Now, growing up is hard for everybody because everybody is unique, everyone is different, but everybody is normal, whatever their differences may be. And people get picked on for all sorts of things because they're disabled, because they're the wrong gender, perhaps because of their sexuality, because they're the wrong colour or race or creed, or they speak the wrong language or have a funny accent or what have you. As people, unfortunately, and particularly children, can be cruel to each other when picking on what they perceive to be different. But it's not different because we live in a wonderful world, a complex world of diversity, where everything is normal, even when it is different. And you will find friends and colleagues throughout life who are like you, who are different to you. And again, it's that diversity which makes life so wonderful. So never give in. We all get depressed at times, but we also have wonderful times. Remember the wonderful times, remember the friendships, and look forward to the friendships yet to come. And try and make your life as successful as it can be, recognizing that we are all equal, that when barriers are put in front of us to being equally included in life, in education, in work, in sport, socially, those barriers need to be removed for everybody, again, whoever they are, whatever their beliefs might be, whatever their future might hold. So, as I say, look to the positive, because life can hold so much, and for you, I hope it will. Thank you very much indeed.
The modern Conservative Party is committed to equality. Since the beginning of his leadership, David Cameron has made clear the Conservative Party's commitment to sexual equality and gay rights. In his first party conference speech as leader, he proudly confirmed our support for civil partnerships and apologized for our former stand on Section 28. We have come a long way in recent years, but we all know that more remains to be done. Homophobia and discrimination are thankfully becoming less acceptable, but it is still all too commonplace in some environments. Bullying in schools or in workplace is a stain on our society. If we are to change attitude, we must convince people that there is nothing separate or different about being as homosexual in a modern Wales or Britain. Whether it's our strong commitment to supporting marriage and civil partnerships or our proposal for flexible parental leave, which will benefit parents regardless of their sexuality, the modern Conservative Party is committed to equality.
My name is Jane Hutt and I'm the Minister for Finance and Leader of the House in Welsh Government. I'm also proud to be responsible for equality matters. This Welsh Government is committed to tackling homophobic and transphobic bullying, and we have a determination and a commitment to ensure that we can build a Welsh society that treats all people with dignity and respect. Unfortunately, discrimination still exists. From homophobic bullying in our schools to unacceptable incidents of hate crime, too many lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people face prejudice because of their sexual orientation or gender identity. I strongly believe that we must take action and challenge and change attitudes and fight discrimination wherever it occurs. Bullying on any level is unacceptable. Our schools should be a safe and supportive place for all of our young people to be themselves. Being a victim of bullying can detrimentally affect a child's educational achievement and lead to an increased chance of being not in education, employment or training. This is clearly not acceptable, and we must ensure that we continue to develop our approaches to promoting positive relationships and tackling bullying. The need for tolerance of differences and awareness of all people's rights will remain a fundamental part of the Welsh curriculum. Bullying and hate crime are also within our programme for government and are together as one of our strategic equality objectives. We will be working with Estyn and other key stakeholders to continue to review the effectiveness of action to address bullying on the grounds of protected characteristics, which include sexual orientation and gender reassignment. At Welsh Government, we have a commitment to creating a society which is more inclusive and which does not tolerate bullying in any form. We must continue to develop a shift in attitudes to challenge unacceptable and hateful views and actions. I want to ensure that the Welsh Government takes the lead to stamp out homophobic and transphobic bullying, and this is part of a journey which is already underway. It is my fervent wish that Wales is a part where bullying is not tolerated and pupils are accepted, whatever their sexual orientation or gender identity. Stonewall Cymru is working hard to tackle homophobic bullying in our schools and to support young LGBT people to be themselves. I'm pleased to show our support for Stonewall's campaign. Working together, we can ensure that it gets better today.
My name's Hugh Lewis and I'm the Assembly Member for Merthyr Tydfil and Rhymney. I'm really proud to represent my community down here at the Welsh Assembly. I'm proud too of the record that the Assembly has had on equality issues and campaigning for people's rights up and down Wales over the years since we've been around. We do recognise though, and I see in my own community, examples where that kind of understanding of people's individual problems, of the issues that LGBT people can be up against day to day in communities, well, it's not what we'd hope it might be. There are those that still have prejudice in their minds. But I would like everyone listening to know that as far as the Welsh Assembly is concerned, as far as your representatives are concerned, doesn't matter which political party they represent, we're keen to make sure that everyone is a part of our Wales. We know that it will get better. We will work for it to get better alongside you. And the best possible thing, if people are facing stress, if people are facing problems in their day-to-day life, is to talk to someone about it. So we hope very much that you remember that as far as the Welsh Assembly is concerned, your representatives, we're always there to stand by your side.
We've come a long way in the last 40 years. It isn't that long ago that homosexuality was illegal. But it's really important to realise that the confusion or uncertainty that you're feeling about your sexuality is perfectly normal. all young people are going to go through it. Making that transition from childhood to adulthood is really difficult. So, but I want to make sure that all schools have supportive mechanisms there to enable young people to voice their uncertainties, voice their awakening feelings of sexual preferences without in any way being bullied or teased by your pupils in your class. So I want you to make sure that you're going to be able to have a school council that is fit for purpose, that is understanding of people's need to be able to explore their sexuality, and that has proper anti-bullying policies that make sure that everybody is free to express their sexuality without being a target.
Well, I'm delighted to be here today to record this message of support for Stonewall's It Gets Better campaign. Sadly, there are still far too many people being bullied because of their sexual orientation, preference and so on in our schools. But I can assure you that if that's happening to you, the best thing to do is to be open about it, talk to your friends, talk to your family if you can, and remember always that it gets better. School seems like a long and lonely place sometimes for people, but actually it's a very small part of your life. And as soon as you're out there in the world, people will recognise you for the hugely useful and beneficial person that you actually are. Most gay people come to terms with that very early on. If you are one of the ones experiencing bullying, do speak to somebody, as I say. We have a lot of people around the country who can help you, but it really does get better afterwards. There are an enormous number of people here to support and help you. Your life will be a great one once you're out of your school environment. Get the best out of it that you can, but always look to the future. And remember, if there's nobody else to talk to, then come and talk to one of us from these messages. We'll be here to support you all the way.
Hello, my name is Llyr Griffith and I'm an Assembly Member in the National Assembly for Wales, representing North Wales. I'm proud to support Stonewall's It Gets Better Today campaign, which tells lesbian, gay and bisexual young people that they don't have to wait for their lives to improve. They can be great now. We're lucky to live in a country where lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people have protections within the law, but we cannot be complacent. Homophobia and transphobia still exists on our streets and in our schools. I firmly believe that every young person should be able to enjoy learning, free from bullying and in an environment which celebrates diversity. That is what this campaign is about. If you believe you have experienced homophobia or transphobia, please remember that you do not have to suffer in silence. There are organisations that can help. Stonewall, Safer Wales and the police all have mechanisms in place to help you report homophobia and transphobia as hate crimes. We are a diverse, tolerant nation where LGBT people enjoy more rights and protections than ever before. We can celebrate the achievements that have been made, and remember, if you are lesbian, gay, bisexual or transgender, you have the right to be yourself and to be proud of who you are. Helo, fe enw I yw Llyr Griffith ac rwy'n aelod cynulliad yng Nghynulliad Cenedlaethol Cymru yn cynrychioli Gogledd Cymru. Rwy'n falch o gefnogi ymgyrch Stonewall, Mae'n Gwella heddiw, sy'n dweud wrth bobl ifanc lesbiaidd, hoyw a deurywiol nad oes rhaid iddyn nhw aros i'w bywydau wella. Gallu bywydau fod yn wych nawr. Rydym yn ffodus sy'n bod yn byw mewn gwlad lle mae'r gyfraith yn diogelu pobl lesbiaidd, hoyw, deurywiol a thrawsrywiol. Ond rhaid i ni beidio lleisi dwylo. Mae homophobia a trawsphobia yn parhau ar ein strydoedd ac yn ein hysgolion. Rwy'n credu'n gryf y dylai pob person ifanc fedru mwynhau dysgu heb ddioddau unrhyw fath o fwlio, a hynny mewn amgylchedd sy'n dathlu amrywiaeth. Dyna yw nod yr ymgyrch hon. Os ydych chi'n credu'ch bod chi wedi dioddef oherwydd homophobia neu trawsphobia, cofiwch nad oes rhaid i chi ddioddau'n dawel. Mae sefydliadau ar gael i'ch helpu chi. Mae gan Stonewall, Cymru Ddiogelach a'r heddlu systemau ar waith i'ch helpu chi i ddweud wrthynt am homophobia a thrawsphobia a throseddau casineb. Rydym yn genedl amrywiol o ddefgar lle mae pobl lesbiaidd, hoyw, deurywiol a thrawsrywiol yn mwynhau mwy o hawliau nag erioed o'r blaen, a lle mae mwy o fisurau i'w diogelu nag erioed o'r blaen. Gallwn ddathlu'r hyn rydym wedi gyflawni. A chofiwch, os ydych yn lesbiaidd, yn hoyw, yn ddeurywiol neu'n trawsrywiol, mae gen i'ch hawl i fyw fel y mynoch ac i fod yn falch o'r hyn ydych chi.
Cynulliad Cenedlaethol Cymru yw'r corff sy'n cael ei ethol yn ddemocrataidd i gynrychioli buddiannau Cymru a'i phobl, i ddeddfu ar gyfer Cymru ac i ddwyn Llywodraeth Cymru i gyfrif. I gael rhagor o wybodaeth ac i ganfod pwy sydd yn eich cynrychioli, ewch i cynulliadcymru.org neu gallwch chi'n dilyn ar Facebook a Twitter. The National Assembly for Wales is the democratically elected body that represents the interests of Wales and its people, makes laws for Wales, and holds the Welsh Government to account. For more information and to find out who represents you, go to assemblywales.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.